Right, it's a new month, and what a way to welcome you to another edition of your most authoritative football show on television, Football Planet. My name is Juliet Bowa. As the race heats up for signatures of Africa's best players in Europe, there is considerably pressure on Dortmund's Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang and Leicester's Mahrez. We have been joined by one gentleman who knows the story well enough. Thanks for making time for us, Omavwa Akatuba. And Aubameyang must be a very troubled man now, having to decide his next move.
I think that he's very much at home at Dortmund. He has been given everything here. They've actually erected something like a statue in his honor at the stadium in Dortmund. I saw a post he posted on Twitter recently where he debunked every report linking him to Real Madrid and any other club. And he says, as for now, he's happy at Dortmund. And I don't think that he will leave Dortmund. Everything points to the fact that he will remain at Dortmund.
Right, and for Mahrez, are we finally looking at a move away from Leicester? His boss, Ranieri, has admitted he is distracted by Arsenal transfer talk.
His dream is to play for a bigger football club. Arsenal has come up, to give him a chance to play for a dream club. I think that he wants to leave, but everything is pointing to the fact that he will remain at Leicester City. He's got a contract till 2019, and of course he earns a £40,000 per week. That is meager compared to the £100,000 he's holding out for currently at Leicester City. Contract negotiations will resume, and is asking for £100,000 to earn same as Jeremy Vardy, who has snubbed Arsenal to remain at Leicester City, especially with the fact that Claudio Ranieri has talked to him over and over again to remain at Leicester City, build more confidence, and of course move next season. So I think that Mahrez will remain at Leicester City, but if he's not given an improved contract before the 31st of August, this is football, and anything I can tell you can happen.
Right, thank you very much, Omar, for joining us from Germany. Moving on to other stories, a CAF delegation has paid a working visit to Cameroon ahead of the 2016 African Women Cup of Nations. Thanks to our correspondent, Joel Kwam, Football Planet has the latest images of how the West African nation are getting ready.
A delegation of experts from the Confederation of African Football has inspected Cameroon's readiness to host the 2016 Women's Africa Cup of Nations. Contrary to fears that Cameroon might not be ready to host the tournament, the delegation led by CAF executive member of Tanzania, Leodega Tenga, said it was satisfied with the preparations after touring the Amadou Ahidjo Stadium and the military stadium in Yaoundé. The head of the construction, French architect, have assured that the new-look Amadou Ahidjo Stadium will be ready by October 17th before the tournament kicks off on November 19th.
We visited the stadium, we have visited the training grounds, we have visited the hotels, good quality hotels. Work is going on, and for us, it was a question of convincing ourselves that come the day of the tournament, everything will be perfectly all right.
The 2016 Africa Women Cup of Nations will be the 12th edition of the biennial tournament, in which a total of 8 teams will take part.
Sport facilities are ready, hotels, and now we are proceeding to organize a draw ceremony.
Cameroon will also host AFCON 2019, scheduled to be the 32nd edition.
We'll keep you up to speed with that. And still on competitive football, we switch lanes to speak to the coach of the Under-23 Olympic team of South Africa. We speak to him on expectations as the games get underway in days. Thanks, coach. You play against Brazil in your first match. How well psyched up are you, given that they are a stronger side?
Well, I think certainly we've been motivated by the 2000 Sydney Olympics when South Africa beat Brazil in the opening match. Unfortunately, the 2 subsequent matches that followed, South Africa lost, so they did not progress to the next round. So our immediate goal is to emulate that team and maybe go one step beyond it and go through the group stages.
But what are you telling your players ahead of the tournament? Do you have a feeling they want to make history?
Yeah, look, I think, coming here, the These are the best 16 under 23 teams in the world. And we qualified as one of the third best in Africa. So we're certainly here to represent not only South Africa, but Africa, all our brothers in Africa. This is to motivate them and to show them that where there's a will, there's a way. And if you believe, you have a chance. And we are doing this for Africa.
But tell me, where would you place yourself in terms of general performance in this championship? Is South Africa the underdogs, all the big boys?
I think there's no doubt about it that we're the underdogs. We've only qualified twice. It's been 15 years since we've been in the Olympics. And certainly when it comes to experience and history, we're one of the lesser teams. So I definitely believe we're the underdogs. And I think that will take off a little pressure off us and allow the boys to go and push themselves to the limit.
Thanks for your time, Coach, speaking to us all the way from Brazil. Now, football will be one of the most patronized games at the Olympics, and Africa's interest in the men's football is to be guarded by Algeria, Nigeria, and South Africa, while the women's football will have Zimbabwe and South Africa. Here are the fixtures of the opening games. Right, some football fans are expressing their views on the chances or otherwise of the African teams competing at Rio, and South African fan from joining us, that is Joe Kran, joins me via Skype. Thanks, Kran, for joining me on Football Planet. What kind of impact do you want your team to make?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I think this team is kind of went above expectations in the first place. So I think a lot of the guys are just very, very happy to be there. In terms of this team, for me, their strength is going forward. I think there's very good attacking players in the team, guys like Keegan Dole, Lebo Motiba. There's a lot of good attacking options, whereas they have struggled in defence. And I think if they can sort the defence out, that's going to be the key for them. Personally, I think we can finish second in the group, I think behind Brazil. And if that's the case, I think everyone will be really happy with that.
Next up is Maha Meza. He is all ready to support Algeria. It's a pleasure having you here, Mezahi. Will Algeria be the brightest spot for Africa at the tournament?
Personally, I'm not very optimistic. The media here are not very optimistic, simply because the Algerian Federation has not been able to convince a lot of European clubs to release some of their Algerian superstars, players like Riyad Mahrez, players like Islam Slimani, who the Federation wanted to go to Brazil, Leicester and Sporting Club. The Portugal, we're just not on board with it. So because we're lacking those game changers, I think it might be a little bit difficult in a group with Argentina and Portugal.
Thanks for your time. And Oluwatosin Akin Yinka is a proud Nigerian fan. He joins us from the US. How do you expect the dream team of Nigeria to perform?
I don't expect the team to go very far in the tournament. I'm not expecting anything big. I'm really pessimistic about their chances. This is a team that's lacking a number of 8 great players. We're missing Alex Iwobi from Arsenal. We're missing Odion Igalo from Watford. We're missing Kelechi Iheanacho from Manchester City. These players are mostly players from B-League teams in Europe. I looked at the squad. I could only find John Obi Mikel, who's not the same John Obi Mikel from 2005, and a couple of other players from other B-League teams in Europe. So I don't expect anything big from them. I'm not expecting a miracle. I could also see that the quality of the preparations has been very poor. The last warm-up game against Honduras was cancelled due to poor preparation and administration, which we've always seen with Nigerian football over the years. So from my own hand, I wouldn't expect anything big. I wouldn't expect a miracle, guys. Yeah.
Thanks, gentlemen, for joining me here on Football Planet. As always, you can join the conversation on our social media handle, just hashtag Football Planet. We are delighted you stayed glued to your set and devices to watch Football Planet. We are back on your screens next week. My name is Juliet Bowa. Stay on side.